Kay Spence and I had just completed our 4.5 years of general and midwifery training in England and had moved to Belfast to work in a hospital there when we read in the nursing magazine that they needed nurses in Canada and Australia, and because it was a shorter time to reach Canada, our parents decided Canada was the best move. The conditions were for a 2-year contract where we would be, our passage would be paid and we would pay it back through our salaries. They also said that the sun shone for 365 days in a year, and also the scenery was beautiful with the mountains and skiing, and it all sounded very adventurous to us, so we decided to take it up. We signed a 2-year contract with the hospital in Vulcan, and we left England. We arrived in Halifax March the 23rd, 1953, after 4 or 5 days on the ship, and had a lot of fun. There was a lot of good-looking fellows, and Kay and I enjoyed the voyage very well. And then we arrived in Halifax and we boarded the train for Calgary. Another 4 days on the train. When we arrived in Calgary, Mrs. Taylor, who was head housekeeper of the hospital, met us and took us to the bay because we had to purchase uniforms and shoes. And then she took us also to the York Hotel, where we met Miss Sissons, the matron of the hospital, and Dice Allen, who was the mayor of Vulcan, and they drove us to Vulcan. It was an appalling, wet, rainy day, and we just slid into town. It looked like an old western town. Everything was wood, and we arrived at the hospital and we thought, oh, maybe this building will stay up for a while. It was a nice brick residence and a brick hospital. We were on duty, Kay and I, the next morning, and they were very pleased that they had some more nursing staff because they were running the hospital with just 2 to 3 nurses, and farmers' wives like Frances Kerr and Gwen Graham and Ruby Jameson were filling in when they had to. So it was really good that they had us on duty, although we were tired after our long trip. Over the next few years, more nurses came from the old country, and we formed sort of a little British colony. Each summer we would have an old country nurses picnic. The hospital was very busy. We always had the maternity full, 5 or 6 patients at a time, and they stayed usually about 8 to 10 days. We also did surgery, cesareans and appendectomies, and the surgical wing was very busy. We liked it over here because, unlike the old country, it was on a much smaller scale, but we got to know the people and the community, and they liked us. And even today, people will meet me and say, oh, I remember you, you delivered my baby. And so we have a close bond with those people, and we feel really part of the community. There was a lot of good-looking fellows in the community, a lot of social activity, lots of dances, and I met and married a farmer by the name of Hyslip. He always said to me that we had come over to Canada looking for a man, and I had said we only took what was left. I really do think that we made a good choice when we came to Canada. The people in the area were so good to us and invited us to their homes, and they really looked as if we were family to them and were very good to us, and we should always be thankful for that. I never imagined that sailing on that ship to Canada would be such an adventure, that I would meet and marry, have 4 children, live on a farm, and make this area my home. I have returned to England many times. I've visited with family and friends. Likewise, my family have all come to Canada to see me, and the years have gone by, and we are very happy and settled in this country.